Hi everybody! So I figured since we've been going down things the Bible says for several weeks, I thought it was high time to get back to crapping on arguments for God. Angel told me about a nice and pithy video and she wants to show how it starts off.
Proving God exists is easy actually.
Well then he needs to tell everybody. Theists for days! So the title of the video is Proving God Exists in 4 Minutes is Easy, Actually. Look, if William Lane Craig, Frank Turek, and I lost track of how many others can't do it, I doubt the Fear the Hour channel is going to fare any better. But let's give him a shot. How does he want to get this started?
There are many philosophical arguments to prove God's existence.
The arguments aren't proof, but we'll let it slide for now. What arguments?
Such as the contingency argument.
This is summed up as, things exist, therefore God made the things, which ignores naturalism. Just because there is an existence does not mean God did it. That almost sounds like the Kalam cosmological argument.
The first cause argument.
Speaking of which, this is the more formal way of bringing up the Kalam cosmological argument, which we did with William Lane Craig, and fails due to the conclusion that it has to have an uncaused cause, and that can just as easily be quantum randomness, or the point of energy that expanded in the Big Bang was always there and was uncaused.
The intelligent design argument.
We did this one too, also with William Lane Craig. The universe wasn't designed for us, and this actually fails due to the maths behind the Big Bang, among other factors, like even if the universe was different, life would just have emerged differently.
And fine-tuning argument.
This is just a rephrase of the intelligent design argument. It's the same argument. I don't have much hope for this, Chris. Wait, what did he say?
But as a Muslim, I dare use the words of God to demonstrate the existence of the owner, creator, and sustainer of the universe.
Oh crap, the Quran. Well, time to get reading and see what we can uncover on the Islamic version of the Bible. I hope he actually starts quoting some decent lines in the thing. This is the first time we're going to be hitting the Quran. I was given my copy from a co-worker that wants to convert me. He knows I'm an atheist and has said there's nothing that can be challenged in the Quran. So, from my point of view, this is...
Round 1. Fight!
Wow, you both went there. Can we keep going?
Oh, right, of course.
Thank you.
In the Quran, atheism is considered unnatural, irrational, and a deviation from the truth.
And in the atheist worldview, we would consider the same for the Islamic worldview. I mean, Islam is a rather recent newcomer to the worldview battlefront. I mean, if some guy comes walking down from the mountains and starts telling everyone their gods are all fake and Jesus never died on the cross, I would have stuffed him in the back of his damn cave. Not for blaspheming the Bible, but just for being plain stupid.
Quran chapter 52, verse 35 and 36 states, "Or were they created by nothing? Or were they the creator of themselves? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Rather, they are not certain."
Okay, the first point of him being dishonest. In the section of the Quran he's quoting from, it's talking specifically about the people of Muhammad's hometown of Mecca. At the time, they were theists.
Wait, what?
Arabian polytheists, to be specific.
Nailed it!
Thus the earlier joke of telling everyone their gods were all fake. They had several deities and spirits they worshipped, where Allah was worshipped just as one deity in the pantheon. In that pantheon, there were gods that did create everything with the god Allah as the primary creator, but not the sole creator. In that pantheon, Allah was the equivalent of El in the Canaanite pantheon, where Yahweh originated. Now, the funny thing here is, in verse 34, where the Quran asks them to create something like the Quran when they called the Quran a made-up work. From there, I call on the Mormon Church, where they did pretty much the exact same thing, where Jesus visited the Americas after his resurrection. Joseph Smith made up a ton of crap in the Book of Mormon. In short, Joseph saw the Quran and said, "Challenge accepted," So, what are we done here?
No.
Well, what the hell else does he want to say?
From these verses, Allah addresses humans, but the logic can apply to all creation. Let us outline the premises and then break down the argument.
Oh boy, here we go.
Premises. Premise number 1. Creation cannot come from nothing. Premise number 2. Creation cannot create itself. Premise number 3. Creation cannot be the result of an infinite regress of causes. Conclusion. There must be an uncreated creator who initiated creation.
Does he even realize that he is blatantly asserting that the universe was created?
No.
This is the uncaused cause argument all over again.
Yes!
The issue here is not with the logic, but with the assumption. Sure, I can agree that creation can't come from nothing, and can't create itself, and can't be the result of an infinite regress. But his conclusion is what assumes the universe was created. It should be written with an if statement. If the universe was created, there must be an uncreated creator who initiated creation. But even then, what did he create it out of? His first premise is that the creation can't come from nothing. So there had to be a something for the someone to create the something out of. Or something. Whatever. And since there had to be something in the first place, why can't that just be the singularity that always existed in the first place? In that idea, there would be a kicker to the football, but that requires far more assumptions than just quantum randomness that started the cosmic inflation. So you don't actually need a creator for the universe.
Breakdown of the premises. Premise number 1. Creation cannot come from nothing. Both believers and atheists can agree that something cannot come from nothing. In quantum physics, particles can appear from a vacuum state, but a vacuum is not nothing. It is a field with physical properties.
Did you catch what he did there? I did. He went from creation can't come from nothing to something can't come from nothing. But in quantum physics, virtual particles spontaneously come from nothing in that vacuum. However, a vacuum doesn't have physical properties, as there isn't anything there to have properties. In a true vacuum, there really is nothing. Not to mention that he just debunked himself, since he just asserted that in quantum mechanics, something came from nothing. Why do people make videos if they don't actually read what they write?
Premise 2. Creation cannot create itself. Can you create yourself? Did your mother give birth to herself? This implies that something exists and doesn't at the same time, a paradox. Creation's existence depends on many factors. For example, Earth's habitability. Earth's ability to support life depends on many factors, such as the presence of liquid water, the perfect distance between the Sun and the Earth, a specific type of sun at the center of the solar system, and the presence of Jupiter, which acts as a cosmic shield, protecting Earth from numerous comet and asteroid impacts. These factors highlight how dependent things cannot give rise to themselves.
Did he just tell me to go fuck myself?
Maybe.
Well, we'll let that one slide for now. He's contradicted himself. In his first premise, he mentioned particles coming into existence all on their own, and they mentioned that reality can't come into its own existence. That being said, the Earth's ability to hold life does depend on things, but that is different. Since the Earth already exists, it means that everything in it already exists at the time I was recording all of this. And you being able to watch it depends on me actually finishing it without losing my sanity on how backwards this argument of his is. All these dependencies rely on the initial expansion of the universe, but we have already argued that the expansion didn't need a creator, and it is simpler explanation than a creator explanation. Now, the next clip is rather long. Get some ranch dressing for the word salad, please.
Premise 3. Creation cannot be the result of an infinite regress of causes. The Big Bang Theory suggests a starting point for the universe. Some argue for a multiverse or cyclic models. However, infinite regress leads to a dilemma. Imagine a line of dominoes falling infinitely with no first domino to start the chain. This is an absurdity. Thus, there must be an initial uncaused cause. Conclusion from the premises. Once we negate these three premises, we are left with a conclusion that is implied based on the verses above, which is, everything in existence was created by an uncreated creator. The uncreated creator needs to fulfill certain conditions or criteria for it to qualify to be an uncreated creator. Criteria number 1. There can only be one. An uncreated creator must be all-powerful and all-knowing. Multiple beings, such as in polytheistic religions with these attributes, would negate true omnipotence and omniscience. Criteria number 2. Independent. Dependent entities cannot give rise to themselves or exist independently, as I've just proven earlier. The creator must be self-sufficient and independent. Criteria number 3. Does not beget nor is begotten. The creator must not be subject to the same issues of causation and dependency as creation. This prevents infinite regress. Criteria number 4. Nothing is comparable to the creator. If anything were comparable to the creator, it would imply dependency and contradict the essence of God.
Speak up!
Sorry, I dozed off. He was that boring. Yeah, those were words. But it's our job to entertain the word salad, so let's pose the question. Can quantum randomness fit as criteria? Let's see. There can be only one. Quantum randomness can fit as it is a singular explanation for the expansion. Quantum randomness occurs independently of everything else in the universe, so there's that too. As for criteria number 3, he fucked up again. If his creator falls into a category that it does not beget nor is begotten, then it does not create nor is created. So if it can't create, it wouldn't be able to create anything. Let's take out the beget part of his gimmick, and yes, quantum randomness does not have anything that creates it, and it occurs randomly. As for his last criteria, where nothing can compare to it, yeah, there is nothing in the universe like something that comes into existence all on its own and eliminates itself all on its own. So hell to the yes, quantum randomness can fit all the criteria he put forth. Blessed be the quantum realm.
Conclusion. The only being that fulfills this criteria is the one true God, Allah, as described in the Quran.
And the Christian pantheon, the Roman pantheon, the Greek pantheon, the old Arabian pantheon, and pretty much every bit of made-up mumbo-jumbo the human race has dreamed up just to explain the things they don't understand. In quantum physics.
Say, He is Allah who is one. Allah, the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent.
And we end with a misquote. Beget in his sense is that Allah never had children. It's basically saying Allah is alone and existed for eternity. I will end things here with one question I've always wanted an answer to. If God is perfect and eternal, why make creation at all? He's perfect and has everything. He can't have a want because he is perfect. So he can't have a want. Why create? It doesn't make any logical sense at all. It makes more sense that the energy in the universe that exists today always existed without ever having been created. Well, that's another argument for God knocked out. Will anyone actually come up with something that makes sense? Who knows? For now, I am Corsi, and this is the Fluffy Atheist. Like what you see, pet those like and subscribe buttons, and remember, if you faith around, I'll help you find out what your Bible, Quran, really says.